If I ask you to picture a farm, you're probably not imagining the rooftop of an office building or the bottom level of an underground car park.
You'd be right. I'm not imagining either of those places. But in some big cities where space is at a premium, urban agriculture is producing energy-efficient solutions in unlikely places. Some of the most innovative examples are being showcased as part of the Powerhouse Museum's Sydney Design Week. And our reporter Ruby Cornish went to check them out.
Green spaces can be hard to come by in inner Sydney, but believe it or not, this rooftop garden is just a couple of blocks away from Redfern Station. It's an Indigenous farm and it's full of beautiful and useful native plants. It's one of the urban green spaces being showcased as part of Sydney Design Week. The creator of the Jiwa rooftop garden is Kunjunburra and Bundjalung man Clarence Slocky. His carefully curated collection includes edible, medicinal and culturally significant native plants. Clarence, you've picked out a couple of bits and pieces for us to look at. Tell me about this specimen.
Yeah, well, this is a bit of a ring in here on the roof because it's not from New South Wales. This is Geraldton wax. It's a WA native. Lots of people growing it, used primarily as a flavour. You can eat the flower and yeah, it's a beautiful little flavour.
Really lemony.
Yes, zesty.
Zesty, it is. And what about this one? What have we got here?
Well, this is more of a medicinal plant. So its botanic name is Leptospermum, but it is known as a lemon-scented tea tree. But predominantly we know tea trees as melaleucas. So most people know paper barks or melaleucas. So when we talk about tea tree oil, a lot of people use that as an antiseptic. So this is a similar thing where the oil from the leaves is used as an antiseptic.
You've got a lot of interest in this garden that you've got going here in Everleigh. You've got restaurants that are using some of these plants in their meals. Yeah,
and funnily enough, the Powerhouse have been using some of these ingredients as part of Design Week. So it's really nice to be able to have the plants themselves showcased as they've been used by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people for thousands of years. So it's only recently that they become more interested or interesting to the broader public.
Do you think there's a growing interest generally in using First Nations knowledge and these kinds of plants in food and medicine and our day-to-day lives now?
Yeah, look, and part of the work that I do is trying to get more natives and bring more biodiversity back and try and build those systems that did exist with plants and animals and insects and try to bring back some sort of balance within an urban context.
The emphasis on ecosystems and land management is a new frontier for a design festival traditionally focused on products and manufacturing.
We're exploring ideas around landscape, around the built environment, around materials science, and really unpacking what design practice is today and looking at some of the technologies and infrastructures and research that underpins really progressive design practice in Sydney.
Just a few kilometres away from Jiwa, on the bottom level of a very ordinary underground car park, a different kind of urban farm. It's the last place you'd expect to find a thriving garden, but in this laboratory-like temperature-controlled room, microgreens are being grown on a commercial scale. Pretty soon, about 70% of the world's population will live in cities, and one of the big challenges is how to feed us all. Innovative urban farming strategies like this one could well be part of the solution.
We need to look at more local food production systems to support our local communities and rely less on food production outside the Sydney food bowl.
Which means more green spaces in unlikely places. Ruby Cornish, ABC News.
And are you an urban farmer, Kath?
Well,
growing your own crops out of the back?
I'm unsuccessful. I did plant some mint and some basil this week because they're hardy and they're meant to, go crazy in your garden. I'll let you know next week.